Hello, my name is Zach Metzger, and today I'll be presenting on the topic of techniques for market assessment for Washington State University's course on international business. I will use the principles taught by the textbook International Business: The New Realities to analyze a firm's international expansion into the market of battery metals. As you may know, lithium batteries contain significant amounts of lithium, nickel, and cobalt. In 2024, the global nickel market was worth $45 billion, growing at over a 7% compounded annual growth rate. Supply of nickel is highly concentrated, with most of the global supply coming from mines in Indonesia and refineries in China. If tariffs, war, or threats interrupt these sources, Western nations will be disproportionately affected. Lifezone Metals is a junior mining company based on the Isle of Man, which is seeking to begin mining in Tanzania. On March 13th, the company signed a significant deal with that nation's government, granting exclusive access to the resource for the next 3 years. The mining site holds an estimated 5.2 megatons of nickel concentrate. In exchange for 16% of the profits, the government promises to provide logistical support by improving local roads and railways. To analyze this project, we will use two of the key tasks that managers should perform to define and pursue global market opportunities. I will focus on these two tasks in order to detail how these principles are applied to real-world problems. Lifezone brings a strong suite of experienced leaders into this project. The founder, Keith Liddell, has over 30 years industry experience. The CEO, Chris Showalter, is a former CEO of Wall Street company Renaissance Capital. Garrick Mouton has been hired specifically as COO of this project and has 9 years of experience managing other African mines. The company plans to return over $1.5 billion after expenses and taxes over a 4.5-year period. It will do this by spending $2.5 billion to build a facility staffed by 1,000 new employees. Lifezone is an NYSE-listed foreign private issuer, so they file only semi-annually. Due to their status as a junior miner, they have just enough cash to finance their current operations, and will require significant outside investment in financing to undertake this project. When Lifezone formed the formal deal with the government of Tanzania just a few days ago, it did so in Washington, D.C., in the presence of the Department of State's Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Central Africa. The firm is also negotiating with the U.S. Development Finance Corporation to secure additional funding, and has hired Standard Chartered Bank to search for an equity partner. The International Energy Agency shows here in this graphic how production of nickel in countries outside China and Indonesia actually went down by 25% in 2020 and 2024. There is therefore less competition from countries in supplying this metal. One of the biggest barriers to Lifezone is the overall strengthening supply of nickel market. Additionally, the refineries necessary to process the raw material are mostly based in China and in Indonesia, so Lifezone's production may have supply chain risks. Western manufacturers are anxious to find new sources of critical metals. One specific instance is a story reported by Reuters in November 2025, where General Motors reportedly instructed its suppliers to find alternatives to China for raw materials and parts. This 10-year chart of the price of nickel shows relatively stable prices over the last 5 years, indicating steady demand. This demonstrates long-term viability for outside partners. In summary, we can see the mix of great, good, and poor levels of opportunity among these two key tasks. Here you can see that even a firm with strong leadership and vision may still have difficulties globalizing if they do not properly understand the global business environment. This highlights the importance of education in international business. Thank you.